Thank me later, yeah, I know what I said. But later doesn't always come, so instead.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
We're ready. All right, cool. Well, we're here. We are back. We are live. What up, y'all? This is the Thank Me Later podcast. I don't know what episode this is, so
I think we're 17. We're 17.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But check it out. This is your boy Nutty.
And Slow Jam Philly.
Man, listen, we are back. We are ready to dive into some things, man. We've been wanting to record for a while, but I want to give some congratulations to my cousin, because the reason we haven't been recording is he has been training to become an official life coach, which he has done.
Yeah.
We're going to give a round of applause for that. Phil is officially a certified life coach. So if any of y'all need direction in life, you need some advice on what you can't figure it out, you just can't do it yourself, we'll have a link eventually in the lifestyleeverything.com website where you can hit up Phil and get to it.
It's coming soon, y'all. Hey, I love y'all. Appreciate the support. I'll do 10-minute talks now, but after that, I got to start charging y'all. I'm just
after 10 minutes, it's possible. Also, we want to give another shout out, congratulations to one of our best friends, Miss Kristen Ale.
Oh, yeah.
Engaged over the weekend. Shout out to you, Kristen.
Shout out to Queen K.
We love y'all, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Beautiful thing. So we are here. We're not going to have any hot takes, because the hottest take we can jump on right now is what is going on in these streets, man. With the heavy in the news with police officers killing unarmed Black people. If you have not seen any of this, you're obviously living under a rock, or you just don't care. Right. So on every news channel, 24/7, it's being talked about more than COVID-19. That's what's crazy. COVID-19 is taking over the world, yet here we are in 2020 talking about cops murdering Black people, and not much is happening. So that's what you see. You see, people taking to the streets and protesting and letting their voices be heard, and just going off like people tired
and looting and everything.
Yeah, everything.
And so I was thinking about it. It's crazy because I watched the Rodney King documentary on Netflix last night.
Yep.
And I was like, literally, I felt like that is happening now, or it's coming to that point, literally. And so of course I knew everything, but I watched it. I'm like, they're breaking down buildings, burning cars, breaking into buildings, stealing. They're literally doing what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Literally doing what's happening now. And mind you, I would never do that because that's not me. But who am I? I can't say, oh, those people are hooligans or whatever, just for the simple fact that I don't know. Everybody can't control rage. Like, I know for the past couple weeks or whatever, I've been feeling angry just seeing stuff. So I had to take a break. Like it's killing my spirits to see this stuff as a Black man. So for the world, for people who's been going through it for years, or people who see it and they just don't know how to release, I don't say I get it. And because I don't understand, but in a way, it's like, what do you expect them to do at this point when the system has failed them? Police officers have failed them. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else for them to do, especially if it's their family member. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what if it was you and something happened to you? I know I'd go crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I had to whoop a cop or, take it to certain measures, it's like you don't even think about, because you don't want to think about that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, yes, we're level-headed, but not saying that other people aren't level-headed, but it's like, I don't have nothing to lose at this point. There's no changes coming. Like, I'm just going to erupt, and some people are erupting. So, I mean, mind you, of course, like, again, I wouldn't do it, but I'm like, okay, I'm trying to look at it from a different point of view, because again, I'm a Black man, and I know I feel angry, and I feel uneasy sometimes. So I can understand how some other people feel.
Yeah, and see where I guess my thought is, so you mentioning the level-headedness, because I feel like even when it comes to the people who are defacing property or doing the looting, the funny thing is, like, with you saying level head, like I feel like we are as level headed as we could possibly be.
Right.
And what's funny is my mind has been triggered at times where like, and this has nothing to do with this stuff, but just to give you an idea of the mindset of what could be going through your mind when in a situation that's similar. So I remember times where being a teenager, where and again, I was a great student, great athlete, did not get into a lot of trouble.
Right.
But I had friends. Let's say I was with a friend of mine or a couple of friends, going to the liquor store, and I see my homie grab something.
Right.
And they not paying attention. Shit, I'm gonna grab something just because the opportunity is there.
Right. Right.
So in a situation like this, you could have as many level-headed people as possible. But if you got somebody who's literally doing something like that, running into a store, grabbing TV, the only thing that could be going through your mind could be, shit, this is just an opportunity that triggers your mind to want to go do that. Not necessarily has nothing to do with what's going on, but I'm just saying that can be triggered because, it just happens to be an opportunity at a time where like this is going on. So I don't condone it. I get what can trigger that for some people, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It also could just be where people are just fed up and they're like, man, the system.
The systems failed them.
Yeah.
Like the systems failed them for many years. The systems failed us for years. Like, what are they supposed to do at this point? Like, it's like a cry for attention. Like, hey, y'all not gonna pay attention, so we gonna make y'all pay attention.
We gonna make you pay attention.
And so I ask anybody, especially white people who are like, oh my gosh, they're animals, whatever. Understand where they're coming from and put yourself in that position. If it was a family member or whatever, the amount of rage and the things that would like you would feel. And again, it's not justifying it, but people got to understand, like, this time is like crazy to me. And I don't get uneasy a lot. I'm always positive, but it's like, I can't watch no more videos. Like, I'm not going to watch no more videos for a minute. Like, I just can't, because it's breaking my heart, because the simple fact that this is still going on in 2020, and it's literally because of the color of your skin.
That's literally
like that's what's so mind-boggling to me, and that's what leaves me like so stuck. Like, we're still going through this. There's literally still people that think that you should be less than, or you don't deserve the same opportunities, or you don't deserve to eat, or you don't deserve to live because you were born a certain color. So it's literally that simple, and that's what angers me, and that's what bothers me. And for some white people to not be aware, or for them to not understand what's going on, that's literally your privilege right there. That's your privilege showing, because it's not rocket science. And every time they see a video, or every time something happens, they try to justify it by saying, I don't care if this man just robbed a liquor store. Cool. Send him to jail, let him do his year or however much he gonna do. Bam, he learned his lesson. Just because someone robs a liquor store or commits a crime does not mean that they should die.
There's multiple points I was gonna jump. So, in FYI, the documentary we are talking about is on Netflix, called LA 92.
LA 92.
If you don't know what it's about, it's basically covers which honestly, the Rodney King situation was, in most recent history, one of the biggest filmed cases of police brutality. They whooped this man's ass for about 15 minutes, beat his ass, and with just a regular good Samaritan across the freeway.
Literally, he
filmed the whole thing. They whooped this man, like they beat you.
And that's where, before you go, I don't want it to come to that, because that's where it's going. It's like, it's going to become like a real race war, but like, especially if white people, especially because some white people, the Trump supporters and the ones who are racist, or who don't support Black Lives Matter movement, they're out there, they just talking crazy. And it's going to get to the point where y'all going to start getting whooped on the streets. And then they're going to start taking it to officers at these rallies. If there is 100 officers and there's tens of thousands of people, they're going to start jumping on these officers. These officers were scared to go to the riots in LA. because they were scared for their lives.
They got called out from
Like,
what was it? What was it? Norman, was it Crenshaw and Normandy or whatever it was? The cross street.
Yeah.
Cops were there to diffuse the situation, and got called out because the departments were in fear for those cops.
Yeah, because
that's how
people
crazy
didn't.
that.
Because and that's where it's going to start. People didn't care. Like, oh, what you gonna do? You gonna arrest me? Okay, you gonna my other 20 homies behind me. You arrest me? They jumping on you.
Exactly. Like that's where we're.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're getting to. Okay, y'all want to beat us up and not have remorse for our lives. We're not gonna have remorse for your lives.
We just gonna stop caring.
And then it's just gonna be crazy because they're just gonna start whooping cops. More people are gonna be dying, and that's what I don't get. Why it should get to that point? I'm just so confused why there's so much hate in the world. Like, I'm just literally confused about that. But go on what you were saying. But
yeah. So to give you guys some context, just in case you're not up to any of this stuff, because I mean, I'll tell you, me and Phil are, we know our history. We do our homework when it comes to shit like this. So just to give you guys some context, if you are unaware, Rodney King got his ass beat by cops on camera in 1992. The cops that did this, the 4 cops that did this, went on trial for it and they didn't get convicted.
They got off.
They got off with the video, mind you. LA burned for 3 days straight. Burned, like literally burned. I mean, I'm telling you, these people got fed up and protested downtown LA in the hood and just went off. So what we're trying to get people to understand is that probably was the tip of the iceberg. That then was, a point of frustration that goes beyond just 92. That was like, y'all been kicking our asses forever. Been on video now, and you're still not doing nothing? Okay, boom, this is where we at. Today, we're in 2020, and we got a list of people. We're going to mention a few names: George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Robert Fuller, Rayshard Brooks. All of these names, these black people, within the last couple of months.
And these are recent, not to mention everybody else. Trayvon Martin, going deeper,
Unlawfully murdered by police. And of these current cases, the cops for George Floyd eventually, when people went to the streets and got, started making noise, got arrested and are going to go on trial. And the white people that killed Ahmaud Arbery have been arrested. But these other cases have yet to make an arrest for. So what you're seeing is civil disobedience from a group of people who are sick of this, sick and tired of this, and have a reason to be sick of this, and are trying to get people to understand what is going on. And I actually had a really good dialogue, and we're not slamming all white people, because there are some good people who understand and are at the front lines with it.
And shout out to the white people who are at the front lines and asking questions.
Definitely. Who are open, who are actually seeing it. And shout out to the ones who are even just open to the dialogue, because so many times on social media, somebody will post something, because I just watched a really good video from Andrew Schultz, the comedian. He's posted some really good ones recently. If you haven't seen them, go to Andrew Schultz's Instagram. But he posted one recently, and I happened to see a comment from a white lady who said she was a conservative, and but she, amongst other conservatives that she knows, were outraged by this. And I'm trying not to read the whole thing, but this is what she commented. She said, every conservative I know, including me, is extremely upset about the murder of George Floyd. We are extremely upset about the tyrannical governors who have shut down our states and our economy. Now, with that, I didn't read that in any bad way, but I did comment just to see, because you get on social media and all hell could break loose, where somebody could just go off and just start talking crazy, and social media, they don't care. Right. I actually had some really good dialogue with this woman, because I commented back and basically just said, that the point because Andrew Schultz was going, talking about how conservatives just seem like they don't give a They're more concerned about wanting to go get their hair done
Right.
rather than watching a black man get murdered and stuff like
Right.
that. So this wasn't that woman's point, but she also mentioned that. So I was just letting her know, like, listen, to your point, I was like, I appreciate you being upset about it, but what the point Andrew Schultz was making was that, you can be upset, but we need you people to act, to do something, because us black people, we can be mad and take the streets all we want to, and just continue this cycle. But until people like you actually care and join us in this fight, ain't a damn thing gonna come about it.
Yeah.
And this woman totally agreed. She's like, I understand, and she's like, I'm all for police reform and all this and that. So there's good people out there. Just want to put that out there. There's good people on both sides, because at this point, it's not a political thing.
Yeah.
It's literally about life and death. And to see someone who has these conservative values, probably voted for Trump, I was like, listen, we can argue politics all the live long day. Let's talk about living and dying because of the color of our skin.
Hate versus love.
And
I mean, racism versus
she's open
non.
to it. And she's open to it. And those are the people who we appreciate. So, I just want to put that out there. Shout out to that lady. All the others.
Yeah, I wondered if there was if there's more black judges, or are there even black judges on these cases, and if the verdict would be different. I also wonder, it irks me because these cops, they don't get sentenced, or they get a little tap on the wrist. And it's literally because you think about, oh, they have families, they have kids. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. They made a biggest mistake. But if the roles were reversed, you act like these people who are getting shot don't have kids, don't have family, and it just really bugs me how you can really look at, like, if two people stand side by side, same conviction, same everything, and you can punish one more than the other specifically off of their skin color. If one guy shoots up a bank, a black guy shoots up a bank, you'll come kill him. If a white guy shoots up a bank or a school, you'll come debrief the situation and walk him out. No problems. No nicks or scratches, nothing on him, and arrest him.
That's it.
I just don't, and that's why I keep saying I don't understand. Like, I understand what's going on, but I'm really confused as to how someone cannot see this. Like, and that's why I'm not excusing ignorance no more. Like, I'm literally gonna start being outspoken. Like, because if you can sit here, and if I have a conversation with a white person and they try to play devil's advocate or try to bring up George Floyd's criminal record,
conversation's over.
Like that, I'm going in, because it literally has nothing to do with that. And that's what bothered me about Candace Owens. Like, for her to even be a black woman, like, I'm sure, I don't even know about her. I just see her I just see her coonery online, but I don't know about, she probably with a white dude, I'm guessing, probably raised by white dudes, been around white people her whole life. She probably voted for Trump, if I had to guess, but I think she did anyways. Am I correct?
You're right.
Yeah. So for her to say those things, it's like, and then what are you saying? Like, she said, and there was another black woman in New York talking about things that don't matter right now. Bringing up, she said, she brought up George Floyd's criminal record, criminal history, said black men are making him seem like some hero. Black people are making him seem like some hero. Nobody ever said he was a hero. But there needs to be justice. Nobody ever said that. So she's putting words in our mouth or misconceptualizing what the whole thing is. And then another black lady said, why don't you handle your communities. There's black people dying in Chicago every day. This one black kid died in Chicago every day. And again, so to touch on those things, she was like, you guys don't care about anything unless it's white on black crime. But what about black people killing black people and all that stuff? So let me just get to this lady, because this is fresh in my mind, who said the blacks are killing in the neighborhoods. If a neighborhood, and then she said, oh, white people are dying more by white people every day. So just in case anybody are thinking these things or want to throw these statistics at us, white people make up more than the population of the world. Okay. So of course they're going to die more and kill each other more because that white people are around white people. Understand that.
There's more of you.
There's more of
by
them.
a lot.
Like statistics, of course, are going to show more of them because there's more of you. Okay. And then to go to the black neighborhoods, yes, that needs to be tackled. No black person will deny that. Like, we need to handle that situation in our black neighborhoods, and we're trying. But again, if black people are in the low economic, and then you start going to systematic racism, low economic neighborhoods where they're all around each other, okay, they don't have much, okay, they're in gangs, they're in all of these things, okay, again, black people are going to kill black people because that's all they see. They're not going out of their neighborhood, going to the suburbs like, oh, hey, let me kill white people, or hey, let me deal with my issues. Like, no, that is what is there. So they're going to kill each other. Not saying that it's right. Again, and that's another thing that the black community has to tackle. But again, they have lower funds. They don't have opportunities. They don't have anything. Okay. Their exposure is to violence since they were born. So that's all they're exposed to is violence. What are you expecting? Okay. So please stop throwing these stats like that matters in a situation. Nobody is staying on course. Candace Owens is not staying on course. The other black lady who was in New York or whatever, they're not staying on what is going on right now, and that's what confuses me. George Floyd got killed by an officer, okay, who was kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds or something, okay? He told him he couldn't breathe. He started crying out for his mom. He couldn't breathe. He was detained. He wasn't a threat. There was no reason for this man to treat him like that, treat him like an animal. So if you're not addressing that point at hand, you're missing the whole thing. And that's what I don't get. It's like people try to create these false narratives when nobody is outraged about. Are we talking about the black community right now? And that's what I'm saying. People go all over the place. We're not talking about the black community, Danny. We're not talking about whites killing whites. We're not talking about blacks killing blacks. We're not talking about, because again, that goes into the whole systematic racism. That's a whole nother branch. We're specifically talking about the brutality of police, which history shows how they treat black men opposed to other races. Okay, how we are killed. We're treated like animals. We don't get the same convictions. Like white people get lesser convictions for the same crime as black people do. Literally, that's all we're talking about. So if you're not coming to talk to me about that situation at hand,
get out my face.
Get out my face.
Like the funny
there's no point in talking.
The funny thing is the people who bring up black on black crime, what kills that conversation quickly is that crime in general is not a community's issue. Crime is for the police to deal with, whether it's black on black, white on white, white on black. Crime is a policeman's job to deal with. What is not a policeman's job is to murder people.
Right.
They take an oath to serve and protect. When they break that oath, that's where you see the disconnect. Stop mentioning black on black crime. It's not my job to go out there and convince or confiscate people's guns to prevent them from doing crime in a neighborhood. That's a cop's job. What's not a cop's job is to murder people for no reason at all. Like that's the disconnect. So anyone that brings up, oh, what about you don't get upset with black on black crime? We do get upset. But guess what? That's not our job to deal with or fix. It's literally starts at the top of the system that's broken. So don't come at us and say, oh, black on black crime, that's, y'all need to fix that first. No, the system needs to be fixed so that everybody has an equal playing field. And then let's see how things work. Let's see if white people out there had a disproportionate level of wealth as we do as Black people, and there were as many ghettos and hoods for white people.
For white people.
And let's see how that would work. Because the very few places out there where all these rednecks are, oh, trust me, those white people out there killing each other. You think they not? You think the dudes that live in trailers
in the trailers
in the middle of bum Wyoming aren't out there going out there and on meth shooting other white people? Of course they are. It just doesn't happen at the same level because there's more ghettos for Black people and not as many for white people. So you dumbasses that keep doing this,
I just don't get it.
Understand, it's a cop's job to manage crime. It's our job, because we pay taxes for these cops, to have a job. It's our job to police them so that they need to be doing the job that they're doing, not murdering us.
Preach.
So get that bullshit out your head. Like, Black on Black crime, white on white crime, the word behind that crime, understand that. I'm not a cop. I'm not driving through neighborhoods to see what gang is doing what, or that's a policeman's job. But understand, it's also not a policeman's job to murder people. And that's what we've been seeing.
And that's what I don't.
And that's why the world is going to keep burning until you get it.
And then people who just watch it and that irks me too. You're not helping anything, and people don't understand. Like, everybody has to come together. Like, for the ones, like, I'll get on my white friends, anybody, and like, they'll just be chilling at home, and people chill at home, go on about their lives, don't do nothing about it, don't post nothing, don't raise awareness. You're just a part of the problem. Like, as long as you're good, it don't matter about the world. It don't matter about the world burning. Like, it don't matter about nothing. I don't want to have those tough conversations with maybe another white family member of mine or another white friend of mine, because I don't want to cause tension and, any of that stuff. Like, they just don't want to do it. So it's just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna live in my bubble. Cool. As long as we good, then no action needs to be taken. But as soon as it affects you or your community or your area, all of a sudden action's gonna want to be taken. And that's what I want. And that's what I want white people to think about, who are just living their life, going on about their business because it's not affecting them. If it does affect you, what would you do if it affected you or your family member? You would want action, right? You would want action to be taken, right?
Swift action at that. You'd want it right now.
Right there. You're not just going to sit up in your house going about your day, living your nice home or whatever, and one of your family members are dead, or somebody got convicted of a crime, or they start burning in your neighborhood right next door, right? Are you still going to be sitting there chilling, all good? No,
you're not.
So just think about that when you sitting and on your privilege, and you like, I'm sitting on my privilege, I'm cool. Like, no, think about that. And us as Black men, we're just tired. Like, we're literally just tired of having to explain this, even have to go through this. I'm tired of seeing this. Like, I'm tired of all of it. Like, I don't even want to see it. Like, I just need to just take a break, refresh, and refocus. But I'm never gonna stop fighting for Black people, because I am Black. And even if I wasn't Black, I'm never going to stop fighting for equality, because why would I want to live in a world like that?
It's just crazy. I never thought in my lifetime as an adult that I'd be going through this. You know what I'm saying? We when we grew up going to school, we'd learn about the Malcolm X's and Martin Luther King's and what they fought for, what they went through, and seeing them marching, and to be 35 now and being in that same it literally just shows you how far we haven't gone. Like, we're not that far. Like 400 years of oppression. 400 years sounds like a long time, but the fact that we're still at a point of having to fight for simple equalities, just for our lives to be valued the same as other people. The fact that we're still having to do that blows my mind. But just like Phil said, if it don't happen in our lifetime, we still gonna be the ones still having to fight for it, so that eventually at some point this gets right. So yeah, we definitely wanted to touch on that. We wanted to acknowledge those recent cases. I mean, it seems like there's happening every single day where there's some bullshit going on. But yeah, man, the fight it's just not going to stop. We're going to keep going. Our social medias are going to continue to be flooded with, anti
If you don't
bullshit.
like it, unfollow us.
Seriously, the racial the racial issues. This is legit. Like, we're in anti-racism. That's where things are. You're either against racism, or if you have to say, get to your point and say, but you're a racist. I don't give a damn.
Right.
Like, there's no conversation to be had. There's no, but no, you're racist. Period. Anti-racism. I'm gonna get a shirt made. Anti-racism. Which side are you on? You better pick wisely, because we getting to that point where we gonna start fucking people up. Like, it's not a game no more. Like, these rednecks out here talking about, if they defund the police, this is our calling. We'll come. They did not stop inventing guns when they made yours.
Right.
So, white people, that's a clear shout out to you, that if you think you're gonna be in these streets trying to shoot people, we got guns too, and they're just as fast. So we'll leave that there, man. Let's jump on something a little more lighthearted. Phil posted a funny ass video on his Twitter that a couple of our friends then posted on Instagram that I stole, and I watched. I could not believe what the I was hearing come out this chick's mouth. We're going to go ahead and post the clip, and we're going to talk about it. So go ahead and take a listen to this.
Broke when I meet you, you don't stand a chance. Because
What's broke to you? What is define broke?
you make less than double what I make.
Less than double.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a shit ton,
Okay.
but you should be making double what I make. That being said, it's because I've held broke men down. I've been played by broke men.
Okay.
And personally, it doesn't pay off. So I won't do it again. And it is what it is. It's not hard to find someone who makes twice what I make. I personally attract people who make like a whole spectrum. That being said, if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is. And
All right, so that was the clip we were talking about. Phil, one, where in God's name did you find this video? And two, do we know who this woman is so I can ask her a couple questions?
I have no clue. I mean, I probably got to look at my Twitter, but I don't know her name. I didn't even pay attention to her name. I just watched it. I was strolling. Somebody had retweeted it, and I had to retweet it just because I couldn't believe the buffoonery that I was hearing. So it was like, and that's what I literally am left. I've been left in awe and confusion lately, like where everything's going on and how someone's thought process, and they can be serious, serious. Really be like that.
She's so serious.
Like, if you guys listen to the clip, it's like, so you're telling me you're basically going to belittle a man. And for the ones who aren't confident, that's what messes with man's ego. Like, I'm confident, so, I mean, that video doesn't affect me or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she's not the only woman to think like that.
Of course not.
And for the men who might make less or who are trying to make it or, who are trying to get on the right track, whatever, and they're going to feel like they're belittled. And that already messes with the man's pride. So now you're trying to belittle him, and you say you got to make too much, or how much? What did she say?
Double
what I make.
She makes.
So if that's the case,
or if she considers you broke,
from her, I literally believe she makes no less than $40K a year,
easy,
or $20K. So I'm thinking. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, because I feel like only a broke woman would talk like that. But then I'm like, no, there might be another woman who makes money, who just wants a baller, or who just wants somebody in the league or a doctor to take care of her. But I feel like if a woman has money like that, she got her own. She's not worrying about the man.
She's not tripping about that.
Right. And that's what I think. That's why I'm like, this chick has to make $40K or less.
But again, that's what common sense would tell us.
Right.
I don't know if this chick got common sense.
Literally.
Like, common sense would tell us that if she has her own, she wouldn't think this way. But listening to this chick, I don't think she has much common sense. Like, it's insane to me. Like, I would, Oh my God, I wish I could. Like, as much as I would want to come across a Karen right now, I would love to sit down with this woman and just ask her some questions, because there has to be a longer conversation, because the dude sitting there had a look on his face just like me, like,
Yeah, he was
like, is you crazy?
like, "Are you serious right now?"
You guys to be so like. I feel like we're gonna like I'm this particular clip of the podcast. I'm gonna edit this one. I'm gonna post this one on the LUP, because we're gonna talk about this. I need to know if women really feel this way, and I pray that the women who do aren't scared to say it, because some people could see it and not want this to be known about themselves and
Right.
not want to say it. But if you truly feel this way, I want to hear about it. But it's insane to me for a woman, just people in general, to feel this way when it comes to money. Like, your dating preferences are wrapped around what somebody makes. What if the nigga treats you good? What if he makes
People
you
don't
happy?
understand that.
What if he makes you smile? What if your day is better simply because of this brother? But you don't want to give him a chance because he doesn't make double what you make. Again, like Phil said, this chick probably makes 40K. So if he don't make 80, he's broke. Come on. Like, it's
And for her, even the fact, I'm not even knocking people who make 40K or less, whatever.
not even.
It's your life. But for you to say that, like, and that's what's crazy. And that's what our generation does. And that's why half of them ain't in relationships who say they want. I guarantee you she's not in a relationship.
Fuck no, she's
Guarantee you.
Hell no.
Guarantee you she's not in a relationship. And I guarantee you half the women who want to get taken care of by a dude or whatever, they're not in relationships either.
No.
And if they are, hey, more power to you. You found what you were looking for. But I guarantee you, your relationship is not based off of love. It's not based off the core fundamentals to keep a relationship. And that's why you see the women who chase after money, they break up. Yeah, they might get a baller, especially if you look good. Like, if you're fine, you look good, you're going to get some athlete or somebody to take care of you for a minute. You look good. And then once they realize that, hey, my relationship is only centered around money and what I can do for you, and you're not bringing nothing to the table besides sex and your good looks,
they're going to treat you as such.
Because that is what the relationship is centered around. Mm-hmm. Or they're going to leave you, or it's just going to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to go do my thing. Bam, I got a fine chick on my arm. Give her what she needs. She give me what we need. But there's no core fundamentals there. Whatever you start out with the core fundamentals, that's going to be the basis of your relationship
right
moving
there.
forward.
And that type of chick, she will be the one that, again, ain't nobody knocking nobody that makes 40K. 40K in today's world, you're doing well. We're knocking this chick for thinking that 40K ain't enough to be with somebody. But what the funny thing is, I guarantee you that if this chick is making 40K and she lands herself a baller, she will be the one, which is probably why she's single, because I guarantee you her feeling this way, she's probably dated athletes before.
Sure.
But I guarantee you she's probably the one that probably will want to make the rules. Like, no,
you don't make.
He got the money. That's what you wanted. So now you got to deal with it. And him probably being like, well, you ain't on my level, so I can do what I want to do.
I can do what I want.
And she probably didn't like that. So therefore, stop trying to date out your tax bracket if you can't handle what comes with that.
Right.
Because you ain't bringing nothing to the table. Like, you're not doubling up his money. You just a pretty face. And pretty faces come a dime a dozen. So unless you bringing something to the table, you're going to get treated as you should, because what you're looking for is the money. And you're going to be treated like an object, because that's all you are to him if you ain't bringing nothing to the table. The women who get treated right, that are actually looking for it, got their own and bring some to the goddamn table.
And ladies, just a little insight. Like, a man, like, granted, ladies, you should be one to, again, you guys are queens. You guys should be want to be taken care of. Men, we should want to take care of you. But you're more susceptible to be taken care of if you're working towards something and you got your own. Like, I'm going to take care of you just because I want you in my life, I see your drive. Like, I see you supporting me. Like, I see you got your own. Like, I want to take care of you, especially because I love you and you necessarily don't need me. If I feel like you're literally dependent on me for your success, for your well-being, for you to live,
for your happiness,
real men aren't going to like that. It's going to turn us off right away. And then all of a sudden you just become an object.
boom,
Bam. And then if a man does get with you and it's like that, it's like, what do I want? Like, I want to raise kids with you. I want my daughter. I got to think about kids. Like, I want my daughter to just be dependent on her man her whole life and say she can get, like, what? Like, because real ones are going to take care of you regardless, because that's what we do. Like, we're going to take care of you. And you got your own, I got my own, cool. If I got it and my girl has drive or whatever, I might even be like, I mean, some men might be like, hey, baby, you ain't even got to work. But the fact that I know that you can work, you can do what you need to do, you can do this.
and you choosing not to,
And you're right.
miss me with that bullshit. Like,
That's what,
nah. We, like, real ones want, we, like, again, Phil said, there's not a man in this world who, if he truly loves a woman, would not do anything for her. It's the ones that show that they deserve that get that. Not the ones who want that and ain't bringing a goddamn thing to the table. You ain't getting it. Like, if you trying and you got aspirations, or your career is you're driven for that and it's meant for you, and we see that, you'll get the world at your feet. But for a woman like that to be talking that crazy in public, the internet don't delete. Like, that's out there now, and a brother's gonna see that, and I know what kind of brother you're gonna end up with, and that's tough for you. But you shouldn't be out there saying no crazy. He gotta make double than me, or I'm gonna belittle him. You got some nerves. I'm gonna find you.
The sugar daddy's gonna come running up, because they're gonna be
Oh
like,
yeah.
hey, I ain't got nothing. Okay, let me give you a little bit. Let me buy you a little
Yeah,
bag.
she
You
look
give me
good.
you give me sex, you give me this, and it's basically a trade. And if you want, it's basically a trade. And if you want your whole life to be like that, man to
God
man, and
bless
never
you.
have stable love, hey, so
God
be
bless
it.
you. God bless you.
So be it, because that's what it's looking like for her.
That's where it's going.
Any relationships are built off of fundamental principles, off of what you make your relationship be. Just so people understand that. If my relationship is based off of sex, let's say control, alcohol, money, whatever it is, that is going to be the basis. That is the layout of your relationship.
That's the blueprint of your relationship.
Moving forward.
Yep.
Literally, that's how it's going to be moving forward. I just want people to understand that.
Yep.
So whatever you're presenting.
If it starts with, so if going into it, you're like, oh, he makes double what I make, cool, your relationship is already. Because one of the base principles is now money. And if money ever becomes an issue, that's what you're going to be fighting over. So tough for you, chick. I'm going to find you, FYI. I'm going to find out who you are. I'm going to invite you to an episode of the podcast.
He going to find you too.
And we going to talk about this, because I need to, you got to convince me that whatever you saying makes sense. Because
I honestly would love to have her on, though.
I would love to.
I wouldn't even go in. I would just sit there. And when people watch, I would literally just be like, oh my gosh.
No, I want her, because if she's bold enough to say some shit like that, I want her to convince me why I should date you. Because I guarantee I know I make double than what she makes.
Right.
Like, that's just, based off of that conversation, obviously you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but damn that. I could guarantee you I make double what you make. So therefore, you tell me why I should date you based on that. And that alone. Because that's what that whole conversation was about. Like, she didn't say nothing about how he treats you. She didn't say nothing about love. Your number one priority to her is you got to make double what I make. So convince me of why I should date you, so I can understand why, and then we can break it down from there. But God bless to that woman. God bless to whoever thinks like that. Phil, let's close this episode out. What you got?
Hey, what do I have? I ain't got nothing. I just love y'all.
That's it, man.
Shit.
We touched a lot today, man.
Yeah, we did. Like, it was just great. It was just a great conversation, man. I just feel like it needed to be talked about. Thank y'all for listening and supporting, man. And
keep supporting us, man. We are going to listen. Again, Phil is a certified life coach. We're gonna be like, there's so much we're gonna be doing. Like, this quarantine time has really given us the opportunity to figure out what we really want lifestyle to be. There's some things coming. I mean, can we talk about a few things if we can for a minute?
Sure.
I mean, other than
just give him a little bit. Just give him a little bit.
So other than obviously we're going to be tweaking the website and adding Phil's
life coaching services
on there. We also are going to be launching LE Sports real soon, where we are going to basically take what we've learned in our athletic worlds and give this, give the training, the wisdom, the opportunity to develop some stars in basketball, baseball, and football. So that should be coming probably, hopefully, the middle of the summer by July, when people are allowed to be out again. So there's LE Sports. And then also we're going to be, now that things are slowly opening back up, man, we are going to get back to doing our social mixers, man. We've been networking all across the country, different cities, different states, to get more like-minded people, more entrepreneurs, more people who want to learn about being an entrepreneur, and given some of this wisdom that we've learned and attained ourselves while we're still learning.
Right.
But sitting down with people who just who want to know where to start. So we'll be sitting down with entrepreneurs in other cities and dropping some gems and some knowledge to them, and want to get more of those going. And also, hopefully, now that the world is getting back to normal, Nutty is going to be back in these clubs hosting. Nutty is back. Nutty is coming in full.
It's ugly.
It's gonna be a beautiful thing. So we got a lot of shit coming. Again, appreciate the love, the support that we've been getting. Also, I'm gonna take this time right now because someone gave me the dope idea. Shout out to our good friend Ade, who gave me the idea to challenge Philip Thomas to an R&B showdown that we're gonna put together on live.
That would be dope. With Danny, I gotta do some studying. Danny,
because I could go back to the '60s.
I learned a lot from Danny, so I gotta do some studying.
Y'all know him as Slow Jam. But y'all need to know this R&B game, where it came from. So even though we low key still have to social distance, we're gonna try to, hopefully within the next week or two, man. If we can get
we can do it.
If we get like 50 people on our live, just to rock out and vibe, man, that would be love. But y'all, we're gonna do an R&B session where we go back
do a session
and have
back and forth.
So shout out to Ade for that idea.
That is actually a great idea. 20 songs.
20 songs. You can use groups, solo, male, female, and we go at it. Up tempo, slow tempo, as long as it has that R&B love to it.
Oh, I'm really about to come with something.
We're going to have a good time, man. So, man, this is the Thank Me Later podcast, man. We love y'all. Be sure to jump on all of our social media. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Telly. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube,
SoundCloud, YouTube.
Everything. Please subscribe, follow us. We're going to be dropping more vlogs, too. I got a couple that I'm going to drop. As soon as Phil give me some footage from his side,
I got to start remembering it.
I'm going to post some stuff. We also probably will have a really dope one after this coming weekend because we're going to be in SAC.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrating our friend's birthday. So
Mock's birthday.
That's going to be insane. So, we got a lot of shit coming, man. So we appreciate the love, man. This is the Thank Me Later podcast, man.
Love y'all. We out of here.
Thank me later, I know what I said. but later doesn't always come, so instead